Peace.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Ariam
And Yodit.
and you're tuned in to Dissoul Radio.
That's right. Your favorite twins are back talking all things music and culture.
Because two takes are better than one, but twin takes are even better. And we're back in the studio.
Yes.
Back with another episode on this beautiful Sunday.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous day in New York City.
Yeah.
75 degrees and the sun is out.
Yes. Compared to the last time we were in the studio, the weather is like 10 times better. So we're here for that.
Yes. It's good Sunday fun day vibes for sure.
Yeah. A lot to talk about. Let's just get right into it, shall we?
Yeah. There's a lot happening in culture.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Where do we begin?
We're just gonna start with the most obvious. The Renaissance tour has just kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, I really tried to avoid all the social content that's been online, any spoilers from the tour, but it's nearly impossible with the age of social media.
It is. It's hard. Like, July can't come quick enough because that's when we're catching her live, and it's exciting, but it's also like stressful because, like you said, Ariam, we don't want to see too many spoilers, but it's unavoidable.
Yeah. And the Renaissance tour kicked off in Europe, and it looks so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I mean, everything that we predicted back in February for our Black History Month episode has literally come into fruition. The stage design, the outfits, the choreography, the stage presence. I mean,
10
across the board. Yes.
Period. Like,
yes.
honestly, like, you can just see how much attention and dedication that there was towards putting the show together, or the tour together. I feel like all of her tours like have had like, you know, their signature aesthetics and set design and choreo, but
this is unlike anything
else. I mean, they went big. Like they went big with this. It's very camp.
Very
costuming.
Very.
I mean, the famous look that's going viral right now is like the bee hat, like the bee look that, you know, and she's wearing like
the antennas.
Vintage, and it's just like so camp. I love that she's really leaning into this Queen of the Beehive fandom.
And I think with this tour and this theme, with this album, I think this is the perfect opportunity to kind of be literal with the beehive and being the queen bee, because she's never actually gone this literal.
Yeah, she hasn't gone this far. And I think it just makes sense at this point of her career. Like you said, with the tone of the album, it's just very much a great opportunity to just lean in. I think she's honestly having fun. You know, it's clear that she works hard as a performer, and we've seen her body of work. We've seen her numerous documented performances, but I feel like she's actually having so much fun with this.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's a lot of heart and soul. So,
and budget.
Okay, they were not playing games.
There really isn't a budget. The sky is the limit with this production.
Is the limit.
I think it's making me more excited to see the show in July. Seeing like these little snippets, like you're not seeing the entirety of the show.
It's getting us through.
You know, we have a few months until we
have a couple more months.
And we
can push
cool.
through. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But so far so good. It's getting us hype.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like the hype will definitely sustain throughout the course of the tour, especially when she, you know, hits her American leg. I just feel of the tour, I feel like it's just gonna be,
I feel like when she hits US soil it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, she's not gonna play games. I feel like there's so much to still look forward to, because I feel like with Beyonce, if there's anything she's really good at, is keeping a surprise. Okay, that team is loyal.
Yeah,
NDAs are strong, because let me tell you,
that part,
like, she always hits us with a surprise. And speaking of surprises, we need to talk about this surprise remix that she dropped to America Has a Problem.
We do.
Kendrick Lamar strikes again.
Yeah. You know, it was a remix that I didn't know that I needed. You know, first of all, it's Kendrick. Obviously, it's going to be masterful.
Yeah.
But America Has a Problem was already such a great song, and they were able to find a way to make it even better.
I know. They never miss that musical pairing, you know, like from Lemonade to The Gift. you know, every time they've collabed together, it's just made so much sense. And I feel like out of all the tracks, like you said, on Renaissance, America Has a Problem is probably the most fitting track for Kendrick Lamar to hop in on and elevate an already iconic song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his verse is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's cool because like she does sing and rap in it. So I feel like him coming in, it just felt really fluid. And they always have like that great vibe together.
Yeah.
And I like in one of the lines he says, I'm an honorary beehive. Let's see why. The diamonds don't fly. They all CGI.
Period. He didn't have to go
I
that
mean,
hard.
the beehive has welcomed him with open arms.
I know.
So,
I know. He's definitely an honorary beehiver for sure. I mean, if it wasn't clear before.
yeah. And I think, I mean, every time I think about Beyonce and Kendrick collaborating, I always think of their BET performance of Freedom. Like, that was like a spiritual, like what they did out there, like, it touches your soul.
I don't think they realized like they didn't have to go that hard, but they did.
Yeah.
That was probably one of her most iconic live television performances she's ever put on.
Yeah. And she has plenty to choose from.
Right.
But I feel like that
something
like
about
moved
that one.
me.
Yeah.
Both of them did such a good job. And then it makes me think about, you know, she has 57 shows from this tour. How is she going to, you know, keep the momentum, keep it interesting, spice things up? And I think with this drop from Kendrick, hopefully, I'm predicting, hopefully he might show up on one of the tour dates and they could perform this remix together.
Yeah, that would be so amazing. And I think first of all, like you said, Ariam, we don't know what's to come, especially in the American leg of this tour.
Especially in the Houston show.
Listen, the Houston show is probably going to be insane. And then I think she has a show on her actual birthday. And I feel like that would be insane too. I feel like she would have so much fun. So between those 2 dates alone, I feel like whoever's attending those shows, I'm really happy for you. Really, I am.
You're so blessed.
So have fun for us. The cool thing about like her dropping this remix during her tour, it's exciting to see like the potential of how it continues to evolve in real time. Because when we think about On the Run tour 2, and when her and Jay were initially doing their earlier dates earlier that June of 2018, they were performing their go-to hits that everyone already knew. And then later in that month, they dropped their joint album Everything Is Love, and they kicked it off with Ape Shit.
Yeah.
And that just changed the trajectory of the rest of the tour, because throughout the rest of the tour dates, they were performing other songs from the album on top of their existing hits. So I'm looking out for any other surprises that Beyonce has in store. Maybe she's going to be peppering them in throughout the rest of the tour.
Also,
and
I have another
I think that would be
theory.
really cool.
So she's performing a mix of obviously songs from Renaissance, but then some of her old songs.
Right.
And there are clips of her performing Savage, the remix that she's on with Meg Thee Stallion, right? So maybe in the Houston show, she might bring out Meg.
Oh, that would be so lit.
That would be very iconic.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would just make all of the sense.
It would be
They're both
so
from
good.
Houston. You know, she talks about how Beyonce inspired her in so many different ways. And I think that would be a super special collaboration on stage, because we've never gotten a music video. We've never gotten a live performance. We've never seen the two of them together on this song. Even when Meg won her Grammy for that song, Meg didn't even know Beyonce was in the building, let alone accepting the award alongside her.
Right.
So even her reaction
to her being on stage with her accepting the award, you could tell she was like, oh, I didn't get a heads up about this at all.
And she was as excited. Like, she was
like a
fangirling
fan.
while she herself was winning a Grammy. So it just shows that, like, there needs to be a moment for the two of them to just collide. And I think that could be really cool. At the Houston
that's
show.
a good theory.
Yeah.
I feel like if it happens, y'all heard it here. Ariam said it first.
Yes. And then hopefully, like, we'll see, you know, it would be cool.
That would be a really cool full circle moment for sure. Yeah.
I feel like what's so important about this show is it's not guaranteed if she'll tour again. You know, we don't know.
We don't know what the future looks like for her.
We don't. We don't know if she is going to be putting out another album, you know, so the fact that we'll be catching her is like very, very special.
Yeah. And this was such a great album. Like, such a great body of work. Like, just to be a part
10,
of it.
10, 10.
Like, seriously. I have no notes. I mean, I never do with Beyonce, but, you know, like, this was just a cultural shift.
Yeah.
It was a political album. It was a celebratory album. It was an experimental album. You know, it was a tribute to her uncle. I just feel like there was just so much love that was poured into it, and it
Yeah.
really showed. And that's
Yeah.
why the world has received it the way I think that they have.
Right.
So yeah, let's stay on the lookout for more surprises, because I feel like there's more to come with this album. But
Yeah.
speaking of other Beyonce related news, if you guys have been on Instagram, then you've seen in the past week that Beyonce posted a carousel. For those who haven't seen it, the thumbnail image shows a picture of her using a curling wand to curl her hair. And then you swipe, and then there's that iconic photo of her as a child sitting on a salon chair, smiling, that we've always seen, you know, every now and then from back in the day. And then she leaves us with a note on the third frame. And I'm going to read you guys what that note says. And it says, "How many of y'all knew my first job was sweeping hair in my mama's salon? Destiny's Child got our start by performing for clients while they were getting their hair done. I was exposed to so many different kinds of entrepreneurial women in the hair salon. I saw firsthand how the ways we nurture and celebrate hair can directly impact our souls. I watched her heal and be a service to so many women. Having learned so much on my hair journey, I have always dreamed of carrying on her legacy. I can't wait for you to experience what I've been creating. B." This post has led to much speculation that Queen Bee might be gearing up to launch a potential hair care line, which is huge. Huge, huge, huge. And so there's a lot of theories going on social media after this post went live. Like, is she going to have her hairline? Like, is she selling products? Like, what is to come? And so I think it's really interesting, because if it's the case, this is like a new, you know, avenue that she's never explored before. We all have seen her, you know, launch several businesses, you know, from House of Darion with her mother to Ivy Park with Adidas. And so it's not new to see Beyonce in her entrepreneurial bag, but entering the hair care market is a new space for her.
Yeah. And I think for Beyonce, this could be an interesting endeavor for her, because hair has been such a huge part of Beyonce's identity, but also, like she shared growing up, she performed for the first time in a hair salon. So I think there is a lot of, you know, authenticity with that connection and relationship with hair. And then also, everyone would love to look as flawless and beautiful as Queen Bee always does. And she's always had that iconic honey blonde look over the course of her entire career, except for a few.
I liked her brunette. I'm not gonna lie. I like her dark brown moment.
But
she had a moment.
Yeah, she did have a moment. She looked good.
Good.
But what I'm saying is, you know, a lot of her identity is tied to her hair and how flawless it looks. And I think,
Like many Black women,
right?
You know, and so it's always cool to hear people that you've seen in the public light in that way talk about their hair, and we've never really had that opportunity to hear from Beyonce's point of view.
Everyone is, of course, speculating, you know, is there a hair care line coming out? And it could be a range of things. It could be actual products where you have her, you know, creating her own types of, you know, leave-in conditioner,
We
heat
don't even
protectant, deep conditioner, shampoo. Like,
could it be like an extension line?
It
Like,
could be
who
an
knows?
extension line.
Who knows? But what I think is really interesting is that, you know, we were talking about how she's really good at maintaining privacy throughout the course of her career. She's always really been good at like maintaining a sense, like letting us in just enough, but keeping and maintaining that sense of mystery. Dare I say she's an enigma at times. And so what's interesting is that if she does pursue this hair care line, which it's sounding like might be the case, it'll be really cool, because if we're all paying attention, you know, most brands, especially in the beauty space, really lean in on like influencer content and content creation to really reach audiences and consumers. And whenever a celebrity is tied to a brand, now more than ever, we're seeing the celebrity like create their own content and make themselves accessible through demoing how their products work through their DIY content, through their channels. We've seen it with Tracy Ellis Ross with Pattern. We've seen it with Taraji P. Henson with TPH. We've seen it with Rihanna with All Things Fenty. And so if this is something that Beyonce is going to explore, it could be a cool opportunity for audiences to get to see a different side to Beyonce.
Also, I think it would be really cool if she came out with products that incorporated honey, you know, to maybe like continue that narrative with the beehive being a queen bee, like something that's signature to Beyonce.
I like that. Yeah.
And I feel like that could be something really cool to play with. And honey is also really great for moisturizing your hair. So I think
I was gonna say it's a huge,
a
natural like moisturizer.
Maybe she wants to do something a little bit different. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it could be really successful. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully she gets into it.
Yeah, we'll see. And we're rooting for you.
We're rooting for you.
If this is happening, we're excited to see where you take it.
And the last thing we want to talk about, which is Beyonce adjacent. Halle Bailey.
Oof. Halle, our little sis. Can I you be my little sis? Can you be our honorary little sis? Because that's the vibes that we get from you. Like,
so
seriously.
The Little Mermaid, which will be released to the public on May 26th, you know, they've been having some premieres to get us geared up for the release of this film. And when I tell you, I have never been as excited as an adult to see a children's film as I am for this film.
Guilty. Yeah, same.
I am so
excited.
hyped. And I think with The Little Mermaid, that was one of our favorite movies growing up. But there's something about this story that really is special to little girls, and I think this live action reimagined version starring a beautiful Black girl as Ariel is going to be so special. You can just see now with all the little Black girls and just the response from the trailers alone and seeing her out there, it's super special. And
it's
I'm
powerful.
really excited.
It's very powerful. And I feel like the little kids in us are having a new wave of love for the character because we're seeing ourselves in her. So I can only imagine for little girls now that are seeing her. I can only imagine how that feels for Halle. And she's talked about it openly, how Ariel was her favorite princess. So I think that's just really cool that she's in this position and thriving. Just seeing her rise from the YouTube days with her sister Chloe and just now being the star of this huge Disney movie is crazy, and it's beautiful. So definitely very excited to watch the movie.
And the blue carpet looks that she has been whipping out.
Girl,
my gosh, she looks stunning.
I can't pick a favorite look. Every premiere,
every look has been
she's
amazing.
Popped out. She is slayed.
And the thing is, it's like every gown that she's worn has definitely paid homage to the character and the theme, but it also is like so fresh, so new, so beautiful on her. And she literally looks like a princess.
She's literally an angel, like angel face,
angel voice, like angel energy. She is, I mean, I haven't even seen the film, but just from the trailers and just knowing Halle as an artist, I could not envision another person for this role.
It's crazy because when they talk about the casting process for the movie, like the team, like she was they approached her and they wanted her to audition. And then ever since she auditioned, like they all said that she was always in the back of their minds, like they would have people come after her and they would still come back to her. So I feel like if that isn't a sign, I don't know what is. And so I can't wait to finally see her on screen. And even from what we're hearing, you know, the bits and pieces from the soundtrack.
The soundtrack got released this week, and Halle posted on her Instagram, just a reminder, the soundtrack's out. And then she posted a clip of herself recording part of your world, and she is singing alongside an orchestra.
Yep.
And when you see that clip alone, you will literally get chills. Chills all over your body because her voice is so angelic, and just hearing the live instrumentals accompanied, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And along with the, original songs from the film, they also have some new songs that are written and composed by Lin-Manuel Miranda and the OG Alan Menken. If you are a 90s baby and you grew up with any Disney film, he wrote it, he composed it.
Right.
Like
He's that guy.
He's the original Lin. Like seriously,
like from Under the Sea to
Beauty and the
Beauty and the
Beast.
Beast.
There's just any song you can think of, he wrote it.
To Zero to Hero.
Yeah.
Like that man's pen game was so strong.
And Hercules,
Like,
yeah.
He didn't have to go so hard. Like he ran the 90s and he ran the
Any
80s.
song that you were singing, he was a part of it. And it's so cool that someone that was a part of the original soundtrack was still involved in the process of these new original songs. And I'm excited to check it out. I haven't listened to the soundtrack myself because I want to see these songs while I watch the film.
Yes.
But I'm sure they're great. I mean, Lin has like the Midas touch when it comes to anything musical. He's so brilliant.
That's his world.
Yeah.
Like and
And you can tell he truly
loves it.
He truly
Really
loves it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this excitement is just real. Only seeing positive things about this movie. And yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's May 26th.
And this is just goes to show that like when you're given the opportunity, like you'll thrive, and I feel like with Hallie, like she is just showing us and proving yet again how much of a talent she is.
She
like
really
you said, from her
is.
singing to her acting. I feel like, she might be setting herself for a huge, career trajectory. Maybe we'll say it here. I think she has the potential to be an EGOT winner.
Absolutely.
I feel like this will open doors for her to explore different mediums in the craft that she's loved so much, from music to acting.
Yeah.
And
I could see her definitely doing Broadway.
yes,
Because her voice is more versatile. She's also featured in the upcoming Color Purple movie musical.
yes.
So she is definitely, gearing herself up, I think, career-wise for that type of trajectory. She's such a talent.
Yes.
Such a talent. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you do. We're rooting for you.
yes.
And y'all go and do the right thing and go to the
Support
theaters
her.
and support her and support this film.
So that wraps up today's episode. If you like what you heard, you can keep up with us on our socials at DEUXSOL. That's at DeSoul. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. If you can hear it, we'll be on it. Until next time, peace.